Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another exciting edition of Music Scene Investigation. Rich Wildman here. Glad to have you along for the ride today. It's going to be a very interesting show today, so stay with us throughout the whole hour. Like I said, it's just going to be very cool. All right, our guest panelists are here. Our regular in-house panelists are here. And got to tell you, if you've never seen the show before, you're in for a treat. What we do around here is we review indie artist music from anywhere around the world. If you're an indie artist, you want to submit your music to Music Scene Investigation. We're not like American Idol. We're not like those other shows like, what's that one Howard Stern is on, that piece of crap show? I don't remember what the name is.
Piece of crap.
America's Got Talent.
America, yeah, we're not like that. What we do is we offer out real technical reviews that artists can use. It's something you won't be upset about if you're looking to improve your music, which we want to help you do right here on MSI. Let's go around and meet our in-house panelist right now. From New York City, you heard him. The Piece of Crap Show is what he dubbed it, and he's not a piece of crap. He's our very own Tom Chianti. Tom, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fine this afternoon, sir. Thank you for asking and inquiring. How are you?
Doing real well, doing real well. Glad to see you back with us. I know you spent a little time in hospital here over the last week.
Yeah, I played the part of the ping pong ball as I ping-ponged in and out of the hospital for a couple of times with pneumonia. And luckily, the second time, the antibiotics got it, and it's out of the system, and I'm doing well, and just glad to be home. You know, the second time I was in the hospital, I actually had my iPad, but the hospital Wi-Fi, I wouldn't recommend going in to visit just to use the Wi-Fi. It's not a good hotspot.
Understand. Well, we're glad you're doing better. Glad you're back with us. Now, let's go over and meet our second panelist from England. It's Mr. Ian Husbands. Ian, glad you're with us as well, sir. Welcome.
G'day, mate.
You are in England, right? Not Australia.
Yeah, just trying to confuse people.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, talking about America's Not Got Talent or whatever it's called, Britain's Got Talent. I don't follow this at all, but I did catch in the headlines that Britain's Got Talent was won by a dog.
Yeah, I heard about that. What did this dog do that was so talent-filled?
I think it dances, or I didn't really bother to read, to be honest. But because that just summed it up, you know, Britain's Got Talent. Winner is a dog.
Now, if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, on Britain's Got Talent, the winner performs for the Queen, correct? Is that what's going to happen with this dog?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, I hear they're taking security measures with the corgis.
Yeah.
Just in case. Obviously, you got to think about these things. They've hired some pit bulls and some bulldogs in to act as bodyguards.
Oh, my
That's to
goodness.
protect the royal seed.
That's right. Yeah, obviously they're all eunuchs as well.
Okay. All right. Before we go too far out in left field, let me introduce our guest panelist. Guest panelist been with us.
I want to do this.
You do?
I want to do this.
All right. Well, I'll let you do it, Ian. Go right ahead, sir.
Because we have got a bit of an announcement.
But
No, go ahead. You do it.
All right, cheers, Tom. Cheers. We have got a bit of an announcement to make this week, and it is, I think, it's a very exciting and very important announcement. And our guest with us this week is majorly, partly responsible for this happening. So we are introducing very, very soon. No dates confirmed yet, but we're working on that. The hit list, which is going to be sponsored by Live2Play. And I'll let Mr. Bill Evans sort of say hello and take over a little bit about that.
All right. Welcome back, Bill. I'll let you take over where Ian left off.
Well, thanks for having me. I hope I don't screw this up. Yeah, we've been working with you guys for a little bit, and I don't even know how we all met, but it was fortuitous. We really love what MSI does. The whole technical review and showing people how to do what they do better is what Live2Play is all about. It was great to find somebody else who was kind of mine in that same vein, and we're just really happy to be a part of this hit list. We'll be providing some cool toys to give away as prizes, and just go have some fun with it.
Now, with regards to the hit list, I know that we're modeling it fairly closely alongside with what we do on MSI. And just want to give everybody a little heads up. The way to get on the hit list, get on MSI. Okay? Simple as that. So go to MSI.
Indeed.
Go to our website, musicsceneinvestigation.com. Hit that Submit a Song button. Submit your music for review. And our Song of the Week winners will automatically advance over to the hit list. So just want to let everybody know that. Now, Bill, over at Live2Play Network, SoundPro Live, you guys have been busy. You've revamped Live2Play Network's website. You finally brought SoundPro Live online. Everything going well over there with those two sites now?
Oh, yeah, everything's great. We've actually been working on, you guys know how much fun this is. We've been working on making sure all the back-end code is completely clean, because we're about to launch a couple of sub-networks, and we'll be using what we have as a template, so we got to make sure it's right.
Now, I'm just a little confused on one thing you said there. Something about clean code. That's something I don't think we know anything about. But
well, neither do we, and so we're trying to figure that out, though.
Now, you say you're getting ready to launch some sub-networks. What can you tell us about that?
I'm not going to say a lot yet, but we are finding certain areas or niches out there that niches, is that right? Or niche? I don't know. What's the plural of niche?
I guess niches.
Niche-eye.
Niche-eye.
Niche-eye. Yeah, let's go with niche-eye. I like that. That are just that we don't feel are being well served, especially in the online world, and especially with less commercial, more educational content. So you'll be seeing some new things, some iPad-specific editions, some new e-zines, some new websites aimed at areas including the acoustic things for the acoustic players, and for the folks working as volunteers in churches and houses of worship. So that's coming up.
It sounds excellent. It sounds like a great opportunity. I know that I've listened to a lot of people talking about the proper way of garnering vast audiences on the internet. And one way of doing that everybody talks about is hitting a niche that is in desperate need of representation. That sounds like exactly like what you guys are going after.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. Honestly, we're not trying to grow an empire here. We're just really trying to serve people that we think need to be served. I mean, that's why Live2Play exists. We've been trying to do this since the mid-'90s with magazines and stuff, back to an old thing called Gig, and my friend Quinn Randall, who started that. But there's lots and lots of music magazines and music websites and everything, but there's very few things out there that say, this is a compressor, and here's how you use it, and this is what you use it for, just as an example.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's very true. That's one of the things that you just can't find a lot of. I mean, you can find a lot of, this is a compressor and this is how you use it, but generally it's not coming from an authoritative source who really know what they're talking about, and it sounds like a great place for you guys to come in play, because I know you guys have staff with experts who exactly know what they're talking about.
We are just so fortunate, especially since we've launched SoundPro Live. The level of people we have working with us. Robert Scoville, who is out with Tom Petty again for the last couple of years, who's done Prince and Def Leppard and Alice Cooper, and Ken Van Druten, a.k.a. Pooch, who's Linkin Park's guy, did Kid Rock and Kiss and Limp Bizkit, and Brad Maddox, who's out with Van Halen right now. His main band is Rush. These are all people who are contributing to the site. Void Caprio, a.k.a. Robert Caprio, does CeeLo Green. And they're doing things like, videos about miking drum kits.
Yeah.
And it's awesome to get that kind of expertise and give people access to, you know, the life lessons and the audio lessons learned by these guys over years.
Now, is this something that you guys are looking at when you say you're looking at putting together learning material for them? What is the format you guys are going for here? Are you going for video format, audio format, text format, all of the above, or how you planning on doing that?
It's mostly video. I mean, everything has some text accompanying it, but as we stay on this road longer, we're really finding out that you know, if you can see it, it's better for a lot of people. You know, it's one thing to read about it; it's another thing to actually see it happening. And the other is that people just don't read 1,000-word stories on how to do anything anymore. They'd rather have 200 words and two-minute videos.
Right, and so with video comes great responsibility, Bill. As we were talking before the show, Ian had mentioned that all of us, at least myself and him and Tommy, are all faces for radio. Have you worked out lesson plans for these guys? You're going to have do these videos for makeup and stuff like that?
Yeah, no, you know what? No. and we're talking sound guys, you know. It's not necessarily the greatest looking guys in the world.
Wait a second. I take umbrage at that.
Yeah. Nice try, Tom. I'm proud to say it.
The sound is beautiful. The sound maker is ugly.
Well, generally, yeah. You know, it's kind of the way it works. But you know, I mean, to be serious about it for a second, we've really fought against having anything that even resembles "quote unquote" high or broadcast level production values. I think a lot of people out there, when they see Slick, they assume that they're being sold to. And so we tend to do things in one take. There may be stammering. There may be, oh, wait, I didn't mean to say that. I mean, we'll edit for length. And we'll edit if we said something really stupid and that we want to get out, or something that's really going to offend somebody. And if you've been around sound people, you know that they can offend people in about 3 seconds flat.
Yeah, you know, if we did that whole edit thing here, Bill, we wouldn't have a show. I mean,
well, there you go. You know, it's, you know, some of that stuff is fun to keep in, and I think it gives it an air of authenticity. I really do.
Yep, Ian, you were wanting to say something.
Also, I do edit the off the records because it just makes them funnier.
Yeah, right. Some of the things
in
that
all
are
fairness,
said.
this whole.
Go ahead,
this whole, you know, Faces for Radio thing. We are indie. You know, if we had Faces for TV, we'd be on it.
Yeah, that's a real good point you're making there, and I would rather not be on TV if I had my druthers. So,
because that's what it's about. It's about image rather than anything else these days. So,
oh, we've got image all over the place. It's just not the image everybody else wants to see. And
we're dripping image.
Yeah, you know, that's exactly right. And nobody wants to see image being dripped all over the place like we do.
It's a horrible thing. It's like an over-postulous zit.
Ooh.
There's an image we needed. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, you know, like I said, we're dripping imagery.
I'll tell you what, before we go off any further down that road, let me just interject here. We're here for a purpose, guys, and it's not the imagery we portray. Rather, we're here to review some music from artists that have submitted it to us. I have 3 that I pulled out of the hat this week that desperately need your reviews, guys. So if you're ready, I'm ready, and I think everybody out in the audience is ready. So let's go ahead and get to the first song of today and see what you guys think afterwards. Here it is, everyone. Here's song number 1 on today's MSI.
$1 for a half-empty dime. I lost every reason and I can't find a rhyme in melody. my friends would catch me when I fall. But I know friends to speak of, yeah, I lost them one and all and made me bad. But I've been worse than this before. It may look bad, but I've been worse than this before. Washed out and the bridges on fire. Water stands deep, Lord knows I've seen high. No room to run, ain't no need to hide. There's always more trouble just waiting on the other side. There's 300 causes why I can't head back home. And that's 300 less than the reasons I can't make it on my own and make it bad. But I've been worse than this before. I once had a woman, the child in the king's bed. And those days are behind me, and I really know where I lay my head and made it bad. Been worse than this before. It made me bad, but I've been worse than this before. I once long, still I wait to be found. Each day I wonder all the cross on holy ground. But don't pity me, for I must admit I've seen the bottom, and you know it's the same. You lay it down, thank the Lord above. All the blessings you hold there, even the ones you fall short of, and they look bad. But I've been worse than this before. It may look bad, but I've been worse than this before.
That's song number one on today's MSI. Now let's head over to Ian and find out what he thought about it. Ian, what are your thoughts on track number one?
I think there's a lot more could be done with this than is being done, but it's a good start to the week. Yeah. I like the style of song. It's got. I'm just trying to think of what it sounded like, and I can't put my finger on it. So maybe one of the other guys will step in and throw something in later on. But it's got a very retro sound to it, and it's that sort of retro sound that, you know, if you put a big soaring female vocal on this, it might actually sell some records today. It's got that sort of real, I don't know, I want to say Amy Winehouse and Duffy sort of groove to it, but not, if that makes sense. It's overall the mix was good. I liked the guitar tones. I loved the use of effects on the guitars, except for the solo, which I ripped in, took my head off, was all over the mix, and was just far too loud. Even though it was well played and straight out of Mike McCready from Pearl Jam's songbooks. I mean, I don't know if it fit the style of the song so well for me. I would have liked to hear something a bit cleaner, but it did work. I mean, overall, musically, the song got a little repetitive, as did the vocal. And although the singer's got character and feel, he was low in the mix. I couldn't understand the words. and it needed some backup. You know, if not a female lead singer on this, it needed some big O's and some big R's, some big powerful female backing vocals sitting in the back there, as well as tracking his own voice in, and especially around the chorus areas and on the hook, because the hook was very weak. It's there, but it's not being used. And, you know, to me, this needed a big Hammond sound in the background. There's an organ in there, but it's very low in the mix. It's just padding. And this needed a sort of more uplifting, nastier, Leslie-sounding type Hammond in sort of pumping away in the background, a bit more Dawsey and a bit more flowing. Yeah, I mean, it is a good song. There is a really good start to something here, but it needs some work on the production. You know, tonally, the mix was all right. My only real criticism with the mix was obviously the vocals being a bit low, and the bass sounded a bit flappy. It wasn't very tight. The drums sounded great. The guitar sounded great. Organ needs to come up louder.
All right. I appreciate that, Ian. Thank you. And Tom, your thoughts on track number 1?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Ian, except about the drum sounds. I think they were a little bit overly live sounding. The vocals were low. I think it's because the drums were live with the room reverb, and the guitars were a little bit loud in the mix. And the vocals seemed to be a little over-processed, and the elocution on the vocalist was hard enough to get, you know, with his style of singing, so that anything that distracted, you know, when you mix a record, you always got to remember the vocal is the main focus. It's where everybody's got to it's got to pull you into the song, and you hear the vocal first, and then everything else unfolds to support the vocal and the vocalist. It definitely would have gotten a little bit more R&B feel if he had, you know, some 3-4 girls in the background doing some oohs and ahs, or some repeating of the hook or something. I definitely agree with Ian on that. I almost called him Owen. Oh my goodness.
Who's Owen? You cheating on me?
Yeah, right? Yeah. But
you're doing another review show with a guy called Owen.
I'm sorry to tell you this now. Yes, I like the style of it. It is a very retro. It had a little. I can't think of the movie with John Travolta and. Where he plays a gunman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it had that type of sound where in the scene where they're in the diner, the restaurant where everybody's sitting in a car.
The dance theme with Uma Thurman.
Pulp
Fiction.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction, yeah. It had a very Pulp Fiction feel to it, which I really liked. I liked the overall mood of the mix. It was clear, except on the bottom end. Really didn't get the separation between kick and bass as well. They played real tight, except for one spot where there's an obvious hole where either the drum missed a hit or the bass came in early. I think it was the drummer missed a hit, but it was only one place in the whole song. So, you know, otherwise they played really tight. The performances are there. Everything's there. I think it would be a chance to take it back, have it add some more vocals, maybe some horns, you know, either or, something that sustains to give the vocalist a little help. He's got a good style, a decent style, but it's not enough to carry the whole song, if you know what I mean. But other than that, I liked it.
All right. I really like your manicure too, Tommy. Just want to point that out to you.
Yeah, you like the way I'm being very European.
Yeah, I did. I really like that. Let's go to Bill. Find out what he thought. Bill, what did you think of track number 1?
I think overall what you've got here is a very, very good songwriter's demo. I think that, you know, you play this for the right producer, they're going to hear hit song. I really do think that there's something here. When it first started playing, I was not a fan of the drum sound. To me, they sounded like they were recorded in, another room. They sound like, I'm listening to them from another room. But then when the vocal came in, I thought, okay, this is it's an effect. It's a stylistic thing, and it's kind of cool. And I expected that when everything kicked in, that the drums would become more present, and they never did. So that bugged me. I think that the only place where I felt like the vocal got lost was in that bridge when the slide guitars came in, and the slide guitar was masking the vocal really badly. And that's always a challenge, when you're adding extra instruments to keep the vocal on top. Go back and listen to that big hit song from last summer that CeeLo Green had when the organ comes in, before the chorus. It's gigantic, but it never covers up the vocal. So, and I'm not sure how we did that. What else? I don't think it needs horns. I would like to hear that organ up higher, and the female vocal thing. I don't know about 3 or 4 of them, but I would love to hear like a Mavis Staples riffing female vocalist just doing a call and response thing, especially towards the end.
All right, sounds great. Appreciate that, Bill. Thank you very much. Now, let me take a second to introduce that track to everybody. The song is called It May Look Bad by the Dirt Road Travelers. It May Look Bad by the Dirt Road Travelers. Appreciate the fact they submitted that into MSI. All right, gentlemen, let's get straight to track number 2. Take a listen to it, and we'll find out what you guys think of it as well. Here is track number 2 on today's MSI.
Town has changed. It seems so strange. Florida is where I need to be. Trying to get my woman to come back to me. Yes, I want her back. I remember the night she walked into my life, and if I had any sense, I would have made her my wife. That was so many, many years ago. I was only 18. What the hell did I know? What the hell did I know? In my heart, packed up my car, was gonna make a brand new start. Then time went passing, the years flew by. Now I'm coming home to Florida, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Florida, I'm finally back home. Florida, I'll never be alone. I'm back to the streets I once called home. Florida. Florida, I'm finally back home. Florida, I'll never be alone. I'm back to the streets that I once called home. That I once called home. Florida.
There you have song number 2 on today's MSI. Now we're going to start this round off with Tom, find out what he thought. Tom, what do you think of track number 2?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's an album cut, but it's obviously been given a lot of TLC. The mix was very, very good, very clear. You could hear everything. The vocal sound I liked. I would have liked the hook to come in a little earlier and not have so long of a guitar solo up front uploaded. But it's just a minor arrangement thing that, but it could be the difference between making something editable into a 4-minute, 3-minute song to an album track. All the musicians played excellently, the nice chord structures, very smooth playing, great vocal performance. I really liked it, and the guitar playing was excellent. The organ and the rhythm guitar was playing some really nice chords in the back. A little wet for my taste, but that's just a taste thing. Considering the type of genre that they were in, it's fine. I just would have liked it a little bit edgier, a little drier, but that's just me. Other than that, I mean, this thing's good to go. Radio format, album-oriented rock, and I really liked it. It had a lot of feel and a lot of heart.
All right. I appreciate that, Tom. Thank you so much. Now let's find out what Bill thought. Bill, what do you think, track number 2?
Well, I'm a soul music freak, and of course that's one step removed from blues, and I really like this a lot. A couple of little things. Tom brought it up. I think that middle guitar solo was twice too long. I also think that maybe switching the order there was a big guitar solo intro, so maybe running that B3 solo in the middle there instead to break it up a little bit would have been nice. A song like this to me screams for a horn section. But other than that, I mean, I thought it was really well recorded. I got no complaints. I can see adding a couple of things that would be cool, a couple of little arrangement issues, but overall, very solid.
All right, appreciate that, Bill. And Ian, what do you think? Track number 2.
Honestly, I could have written a review of this song in the first 30 seconds of hearing it, because as much as it is very well recorded, very well performed, very well mixed, very well produced, I've heard this song 10,000 times before. And that, for me, killed it. It's nothing new. It's another person trying to be Gary Moore. It's another person doing a blues, which has been done so many times before. Instrumentation's the same. The performances are always great. The tone's always fantastic. The mix is always strong. The lyrics are always cliched, talking about a girl, you know, mentioning heaven or hell at some point in time, coming home. This was the only thing about this song. A blues song about coming home to Florida. Is that not a contradiction, guys? I mean, I'm not the American here, but, you know, isn't Florida a really nice place to be?
Well, it depends where you go. Like any place.
You got Disneyland and World or whatever it is, and stuff and things. It's a good place to be, Florida.
Except for in the summertime.
Unless you like having your skin baked.
Yeah, right.
You know, but I just found it all very cliche and nothing new and nothing different and too long, and it had a fade out. It's, you know, everything's fantastic. It's all well done, but it's nothing none of us have heard a million times before. 10 billion times before.
Okay, all right. We
3 trillion times before.
We get your point. All right. I appreciate that.
But, Ian, it was well done for what it was. That's all we're saying. It's,
as I said,
you know,
but I could have told you it would have been in the first 30 seconds of the song. You know, you could hear just in the first 30 seconds of that track what the quality was going to be like.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
and how that's going to persist through the track. Then the track just went nowhere new from there, did it?
No, and you're right. The lyrics are cliched, and there's nothing new about it. But you know, every once in a while, I like listening to something familiar, I guess.
Yeah, it's not like, you know, being bluesy, moody, and kicking back and just hanging with the lady and listening to something like this, you know? Except I you know, definitely want to come back home to someplace else other than Florida.
There you have it. All right, let me take a moment and introduce the track to everyone. The track is called Florida, obviously, and that was submitted by Darlene P. Darlene actually wrote the lyrics to that song, so thanks to Darlene for sending that track into MSI for review today. We appreciate that. Now, gentlemen, as always, we have one final track to go through, and want to find out what you guys think of it. So if you would, put your listening helmets on or whatever you guys use, and let's give that a listen to and see what you think.
They're called headphones, Rich.
Oh, okay. My fault entirely. Put your headphones on, and let's take a listen to track number 3 on today's MSI. Here we go.
Do you want a disco? Let me know, let me know.
to an after party and tighten up the score. I take you to the back seat of my shitty little Ford. Let you glow like you flow. Yeah, baby, you're so disco. Hear you scream in my dreams. Yeah, my sexy soul disco queen. Do it fast. Do it slow. Whoa. Whoa. Let you flow like you glow. Yeah, baby, you're so disco. Hear you scream in my dreams. Yeah, my sexy soul disco queen. Let you flow like you glow. Yeah, baby, you're so disco.
And there's track number 3 on today's MSI. We're going to go straight to Bill Evans from the Live2Play Network SoundPro Live for his thoughts on this one first. Bill, what do you think?
Oh, great. Start with me. No, I do not want to disco. I thought this had some promise at the very beginning. I liked that little bass riff. I kind of was wondering where it was going to go, and I don't think it went anywhere interesting at all. I don't know. I just didn't. I thought the drums, again, sounded like they were recorded in another room. And when I say in another room, I mean another room that the mic was not in. And I don't know. I'm not a fan.
All right, short and sweet. I appreciate that, Bill. Let's find out what Ian thought. Ian, what do you think of track number 3?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with Bill on the mix. I mean, the mix is all over the place. It sounds like it's come straight off a desk or something like that. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's really been mixed, to be honest. It just sounds like everything's just sat there, lacking in guitars, lacking in layering of guitars. Needs some big power chords kicking into that chorus. Drums are very raw. Bass does sound good. I think the bass player, maybe the singer, mixed this himself. You know, just all bass and guitar. Fantastic. I mean, you know, it's got a Chili Peppers meets a sort of American punky, more angsty side to it, and I actually do like the song. It's the presentation of it needs a lot of work on the mix and the production side of things, but there is a good song here, and it's hooky and it's current, and I like the guy's voice. He goes from the sort of Chili Peppers rap style to the sort of angsty sung vocal very, very well. But it did need, although there were backing vocals there, they need layering up, they need arranging better. I mean, the bass was directly nicked off a Chili Peppers record, I'm certain. You know, the guy's been listening and studying with Flea all of his life. But, you know, there is something here. I like it. I like the sort of mix of that Chili Peppers rap style rock with the sort of more angsty side of rock. And that's kind of working. So, yeah, good song. Shame about the recording.
All right. Appreciate that, Ian. Let's go to Tom. Tom, track number 3. Did it shake your limbs? Shake your tree?
Well, it reminded me of a group I had worked with called Fast Forward. The structure of the songs were just very similar. But I liked it, the track. I agree the drum sounds could have been bigger, more present. It definitely needed a guitar solo or more guitars in there somehow. And what it lacked, it made up for in I think the lead vocalist's presentation. It kind of fell apart at the end. I didn't like the way it broke down at the end. But I liked it. It's edgy and current. It just needs to be touched up, remixed, maybe add more guitars to really give it that power drive, a different mix on the drums. But it's a good song, and it's got lots of potential.
All right. Appreciate that, Tom. Let me introduce the track, everybody. This track is called So Disco. That's an original. It's by a group called AssShaker. AssShaker with So Disco. Thanks for sending that to MSI, guys. And now that you've heard all three tracks, gentlemen, you have the task laid before you of selecting a song of the week. Now, remember, these songs of the weeks are not a trivial selection, so you guys need to think about these from now on, because they will go on at some point to our hit list. So,
I hope you're not implying that we've ever seen them as a trivial selection, Rich.
I'm not saying anything of the kind at all.
I think you'll find that I speak for everyone sat here besides yourself, that we take this very, very seriously.
I believe that. I really do. So, that being said...
Thank yourself, Rich.
That being said, battle it out, guys. Let me know what you think the song of the week should be.
No, let's just put you down for saying that we trivialize these wonderful artists who submit their music for us for review.
We can do that on next week's show.
Okay.
We do that every show.
Yeah, but I'm not on next week's show. I missed the fun.
You can. I'll open up a line for you to dial in. You can berate me from there.
There you go.
Notice
perfect.
I wasn't showing off the manicure that time.
I did, yes. All right, so
stapled my hand behind me.
Discuss it amongst yourselves, guys. Let us figure out your thoughts regarding Song of the Week selection.
Did you ever get the thought that we're stalling?
I don't know why.
Because
It's a tough week. It is a tough week.
It's a tough week. Everything's got something good, something bad, something indifferent. I really liked the vocalist styling in 1 and 3, but you couldn't hear it in 1, and the mix was a little droopy and not to my liking in 3. 2 has the overall slickness to be a good production, but song-wise, it's not as strong. I think the strongest songs here are between 1 and 3. And for myself, God. Help me, please. 3, 2, 1, no. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 5, 5, 5, 1, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. I should have kept my mouth shut.
That was Tom giving out his phone number, by the way.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go because I'm going to say 3.
All right, that's 1 for the AssShaker. Ian? Bill?
Go on, Bill. I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
I loved the overall sound and the recording of number 2, but I'm going to have to go with Ian that it's nothing new. I know you guys both like 3. It didn't grab me. I like that bass line. I actually did not like the angsty vocal thing. The rap into the rock thing was kind of cool, but some of the affectations were just, to me, were just very cliched. I'm going to go with number 1. I think that, maybe with now we're talking about the hit list, and maybe that's what I'm looking at. I think that in the right hands, number 1's a hit song. That's where I'm going to go.
And Ian?
See, I was expecting Bill to go for number 2.
See, so I'm surprised you, dude.
So that's kind of put me in a position because 1 and 3 both have their merits. I'm going to go with number... Oh, I'm doing it again. I'm going with Tom. Sorry, Bill, but I'm going to go with Tom. It's newer, it's fresher, it's a better song, I think, overall.
Yeah, but
it's poorly recorded, but that can be worked on.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, nothing... Don't take it personal, Bill.
No, take it personally.
Yeah, screw you guys. I'm going home.
You are
I'm
home.
taking my ball and
yeah.
leaving.
All right, so number 3 it is. That is the song called So Disco by AssShaker, and that is our song of the week this week on Music Scene Investigation. Bill,
Who's it by?
it's by AssShaker.
It's the only reason I chose it. I can hear you say that again.
Recorded, okay? All right, Bill, thanks for being here, man. As always, we love it when you come on the show.
Well, thanks for having me. I enjoy doing it.
Even though Ian never lets you have your way.
No, it's like I think me and Ian agreed one time, and that was the time that it ended up being a cover song.
Well, I know that you've agreed at least twice in that that number 1, you agreed to come on the show, and number 2, you guys both agreed it was very funny when the electricity went out during the show. So I know that there was 2 times.
We may not agree on the music, but we agree on the things that matter.
There you go.
There you go.
There you have it. Well, we want to thank everyone else out there for joining us today on Music Scene Investigation. You want to tune in on Wednesday afternoons at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 10:30 GMT for Indie Inquest. That's over on MSI Radio. You want to make sure you check that out, and that's, again, live every Wednesday afternoon, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Again, join us here next week when we'll have Dave Bryce on as our guest panelist, and really looking forward to that as well. We're going to play out now with the song of the week, So Disco by AssShaker, just for Ian there. And we'll talk to you guys again next week right here on Music Scene Investigation. Thanks again, everyone.